Hi! Welcome back. This is part 3 of my documentary series of life in general, dealing with muscular dystrophy. I know I told you in at the end of the last series that I was going to talk about Michael Pascarosa and his brother Chris Pascarosa. Well, I've decided that I'm going to switch it up a bit, and in this segment, we're going to talk about how going to the Massachusetts Hospital School in Canton, Massachusetts, which is a school for young children and young adults aged to 22, and how going there changed my whole aspect of life, and how they helped prepare me to be the Jillian that I am today. 7 years later, I'm still going strong. Well, one of the things that Mass Hospital School taught a lot about was being independent. Which isn't always easy. You run into situations where you just want people to do everything for you because you're scared. That's me. I'm guilty of that at times. Okay, maybe all the time. I'm sure some of my college friends would say that. No, I'm just kidding. But Mass Hospital School was the starting point to help me become the woman that I am today. It was a very scary world when I first left Mass Hospital School back in June of 2006, and then when I started at Bristol Community College in Fall River, that was a big scary world to me at first. I went from having 24/7 care, nurses, doctors, psychologists, counselors, you name it. The staff there was incredible at Mass Hospital School, to this completely different environment where absolutely there was nobody there that I knew. So little Miss Jillian went into her little turtle shell and was Miss Shy. Well, kinda. Maybe not a whole lot, because it didn't take me long to make friends. But I was pretty shy and very scared. One of my biggest fears was, oh crap, what am I going to do if I get stuck? And, where can I turn to get help? I had to kind of go back into the instincts of what they taught me at Mass Hospital School, which is, don't be afraid to ask for help. Well, that didn't kind of help too much, because moi was very afraid to ask for help at Bristol Community College. If it wasn't for my dear friend Kathy, who works at Bristol Community College, a lot of the doorways would still be not working that good. Well, some of them still don't, but we're working on that. It only took probably about 6 years to get the new door that in one of the buildings, but that's okay. That's besides the point. But Kathy kind of helped guide me to speaking up, to letting the school know what my situation was of getting stuck in doorways, not being able to reach buttons in the elevator, different issues along the side of accessibility. But Mass Hospital School, even though I had to dig back into that Jillian that I was at Mass Hospital School, it worked. And that was the most important thing. And, in September it'll be 7 years at Bristol Community College. Yeah, I know. Kind of the slow poke. Community college, you figure, usually only takes 2-3 years tops. Well, okay. Maybe not in my case. But I enjoy every minute of it. And I transitioned into another major. I was originally in the early childhood education, but I realized the drop field wouldn't have been very easy for me to access because of my disability. And I'm more in terms of helping people than I am, not that I would love working with children. But I decided human services was the best bet. So I kind of had to start all over again. But that's okay because I love Bristol Community College. Thumbs up. The process, now going back 7 years ago, the process to finding a college was not easy. Mass Hospital School is kind of like, I hate to use the word institutionalized. I don't like to use institution. So, yeah, I kind of had to do things a little differently. The only two community colleges, because I was in no shape or form to go to any four-year college, so I wanted it to be community college. So I remember the only two schools that I had heard of was Massasoit Community College or Bristol Community College. I can't explain. I don't know. Somehow I just fell in love with the whole idea of being at Bristol Community College. And that's history. Never in a million years did I imagine 7 years ago when I first left Massachusetts Hospital School that I would have gone to a National Student Leadership Conference in Atlanta, Georgia on a 23-hour train ride. I never imagined giving campus tours and speaking on behalf of new students. These things never really were ever thought of until I got more involved at Bristol Community College. I'm no longer on the Student Senate, but I learned to be a good leader in those almost 4 years that I was on the Student Senate. I'm still a student ambassador as well as a peer mentor. These are a lot of things that have helped me become the better person or semi-better person that I am today. I still got a lot of growing up to do. I'm 28 years old, unfortunately, my dad died 2 years ago, so I was daddy's little girl and I kind of depended on my daddy a lot. So now it's all mommy. But, looking back, even though the only major complaint I ever had about Mass Hospital School, besides sometimes the nurses getting on your nerves, no, I'm just kidding. I love you all, nurses. Just kidding. Was the education. But I still got an education, just not like a public school education. But looking back through the years, I never imagined being where I am today. I didn't think I was going to be at a college for 7 years. But hopefully, if all works out, I'll be graduating in, spring of 2014. And, I'll be moving on to Bridgewater State. Maybe a little bit older than I had planned. But that's okay. It's better to go sweet and slow and get the experience that you need, especially in today's world. I'm very thankful for where I am today. And, I owe it to the experience of Mass Hospital School. But I also owe it to my buddies, Michael and Chris and Steven and Andrew and Joey and Robbie and Eddie and Seb and Jacob and everybody else. They helped me become the woman I am today by inspiring me. And the advice that I would have to all those moms out there who have a child with Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, just hang in there. Try to just be strong. I know it's hard. I know it's frustrating. I can't say I know what it's like because I don't have Duchenne's, but I know the heartache that you're going through. And, you're not alone. And God will bless you. Just be strong. Thank you, and I will see you again for part 4 of my documentary. Bye!